You always want to make sure the people that you have around your animal, that you have caring, grooming, feeding, spending any amount of time with, boarding, walking your animal, whatever the case may be, that they that you have experience with them managing and handling animals for a significant of time, meaning that you've observed them, you can trust and know that your animal is going to be properly taken care of in their care, or that you've also seen how they manage anger, anxiety, frustration. You know that they don't take those emotions out on your animals. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. And I thought of this post because there was a young lady came on here, very tearful, very sad story, where she let a male friend of hers watch her dog. And long story short, she ended up getting a call that she had to come back home, and her dog had appeared to be beaten or bruised. And he admitted to her that he had done some things to her dog in a fit of anger, and she ended up losing her dog. Um, I hope she's okay and that she's taking care of herself. But I wanted to mention that, always make sure that you want to prevent that, because sometimes, a lot of times, when people are abusive, the first thing that they will abuse are the things that are the most vulnerable and that can't fight back, or that are, that you love the most. And a lot of times that's your animals and that's your children. And so you want to be careful with that, because they will do that and then go on about their day. And I spent, prior to doing the work in mental health, I worked for an animal hospital and uh, uh, the Humane Society is what I'm thinking of, the Humane Society. And so I worked with both of those two agencies, really had a lot of fun. Really had a lot of fun. But, this was my first experience in seeing abuse and neglect, was working with those two agencies. And you really get to see how people mistreat their animals. These people, a lot of people that are self-professed animal lovers are not. They're lovers to a point, and that point is usually to when that animal stresses me out, when that animal does something that I don't like, when that animal is not cute and cuddly anymore, when that animal requires maintenance or care, or becomes an expense, I don't love him anymore. I don't love her anymore. I don't want it anymore. I'm ready to be done with it. It's too expensive. And I don't want to wash it. I don't want to care for it. I don't want to be inconvenienced in any way. So out the door you go, or I'm going to pretend like you don't exist. I'm going to stop feeding and caring for you and hope that you die and you make it on your own somehow, or I'm going to take you somewhere and I'm going to dump you, that kind of stuff. And so abuse and neglect comes up in a number of ways with people that may be happy and eager to have an animal or even care for your animal the first time that animals, then they're ready to be done with it. And rather quickly, I might add, and it can become quite scary because animals can teach people a lot about responsibilities if they're willing to adapt and accommodate and learn. But a lot of people, they don't have that tolerance there to be able to learn that until they take that out on an animal. Not to mention, if a person has secret or hidden animosity towards you and they can't get their hands on you, they can get their hands on your animal. That's often going to be the first line punching bag. And I hate to put it that way, but that's just what it is, and that's what I've seen over the years. So just be careful with the animals that you love and care for, and leaving them in other people's care and expecting them to love your animal as you love your animal, as they may not and do not necessarily do so. And just always make sure you vet them properly. So anyhow, let me know what you guys think. Be sure to like, comment, share, and then give me a follow if you like what you hear. Definitely subscribe to my newsletter, to be the first in the know when group coaching opens. Thanks so much, you guys. Take care.